Watchtower Society did take my allegations seriously. And they did not waste any time in getting the ball rolling. Now, I don't know if the elders got a letter or a phone call, but they had been notified that there was a complaint made against them. And the finger was obviously pointing back at moi. And the very next Monday morning, the presiding overseer came to visit me at my place of work. And he was royally pissed off, you guys. I mean, he was extremely pissed. This man could barely control himself. His voice was trembling. His hands were shaking. This guy was angry. And officially the phone call to Bethel was anonymous. But I said, what the hell? Yeah, it was me. Well, the brother had come there to tell me a little Bible story at that time. He wanted to remind me of how things worked. And he had reminded me of a time when the Israelites had forgotten that Moses had been appointed by Jehovah. And they sought to supersede the authority of Moses. Well, at this, Jehovah grew wrathful and caused the earth to open up and swallow them alive. You see, they had incurred Jehovah's anger by not recognizing the headship arrangement. Yes, Moses was just a man, but he was a man who was selected by Jehovah to be a shepherd. And by rebelling against Moses, they in fact found themselves to be enemies of God. Then he asked me if I was recognizing Jehovah's arrangement when I attempted to go over Brother McDonald's head, or if I was demonstrating a rebellious spirit like the Israelites, who Jehovah struck down. Essentially, this elder viewed my pursuance of the case against Brother Schreiner as a direct act of disobedience against the elders, because Brother McDonald had told me to leave the matter alone and let it drop. And by refusing to do so, it was tantamount to apostasy. Well, I told the presiding overseer that I did not see things that way, because I didn't go over Brother McDonald. I went to Brother Daniels, who told me to report my suspicions. And correct me if I'm wrong, but aren't Brother Daniels and Brother McDonald both elders? And since they're both elders, that would make them equals, correct? Actually, aren't all of us at the Kingdom Hall equals? The Bible says that we're all just slaves of Christ. And what we've done is what we ought to have done. That's how I view myself and everyone else at the Kingdom Hall. As good-for-nothing slaves. Do you view yourself differently, brother? Are you the exception to that rule? I asked him. And the conversation digressed from there. We digressed, Stephen. Just kidding. There was digression, though. The elder wanted to see the cell phone video that I was showing to everyone. And I told him, not a chance. Yeah, I'm going to put my cell phone in your hand so you can watch this video. And you're going to push the delete button. I don't think so. You're not going to delete that video. Not in this lifetime. And, yeah, the elder, he was pretty steamed and told me that because of my haughty spirit I was demonstrating, I was going to lose the book room. And I said, fine. And he said, we're also going to take you off of mics. You're not going to run them anymore. I said, boo-hoo. And he laughed. Fuck that guy. I didn't care. You know, even though I was aware that there was going to be some ugly stuff coming my way, I just didn't care. For some reason, I should have cared, but I don't know. And the congregation, the tension was incredible. The tension that was in the air. But for some reason, I was feeling good. I don't know what to tell you. And I think it comes to a point. I don't know if you've ever been to a point in your life where you just don't care anymore. And it's like you're going through life, but it's like you're watching a TV show. You really are not worried about what's going to happen next. And maybe I should have stayed home from the meeting. I shouldn't have gone. But I put my suit and tie on, got my book bag together, put a cheese sandwich in there for later. Just kidding. I'm joking, you guys. But I put my tuxedo on. Not a tuxedo, I'm kidding. I put my suit on, went to the Kingdom Hall. Beep, beep, locked the car, walking in through the door. As soon as I entered through the foyer, Jehovah's Witnesses who are standing around, all the brothers and sisters in the congregation, scattered. Like a farmer walking into a chicken house. They all scurried away like little chicklets. Is that what you call them? No, chicklets, here you go. You call baby chickens. They're like baby chickens scattering. And they all just dispersed in various directions, but it was like I had a force field around me. That everyone immediately just scattered away to the various corners of the Kingdom Hall. And that's a moment when I realized that whatever my Jehovah's Witness life had been, it was going to come to a drastic change, because things were not going to be the same again. There's a lot of stuff you can live down at the Kingdom Hall. You can get in trouble. You can get people who are angry at you. You can get reproved. You can get disfellowshipped and come back. Here's what you can't survive. The A word. The big one. Apostasy. And I realized the only thing that is going to make Jehovah's Witnesses scatter like that, I had been labeled. I had gotten the scarlet letter. The big red A. And I was an apostate now. Happened fast. This was within a matter of days. All of this unfolded. Took my seat. The meeting began, and I can't even remember what was on the meeting that particular night. I was tuned out. I wasn't listening to it. Mostly in my head, I was just reliving. It's like your life flashing before your eyes. I think my Jehovah's Witness life was just kind of just remembering all the various events of my life. And I said, I can't remember exactly what I was thinking, but I guess I wanted to exit with some savoir-faire. Because for some reason, something compelled me to stand straight up during the meeting. And I spun around and looked at the audience and I said, they're stealing from the contribution box. The elders are stealing from you. You put money in the box. And as soon as I started talking, about 4 or 5 men jumped up and they grabbed my arms and they very unceremoniously escorted me to the exit. Not even the regular exit, because the fire exit was a few steps closer, and so I guess they thought that was the way to go. So they carried me to the exit and tossed me out into the night, where the weeping and gnashing of my teeth will be. I'm joking. And it's fun. I like getting thrown out of Kingdom Halls. Whee! Okay, Luigi, here we go. So, if you've ever let your imagination run wild and wondered, what would happen if I stood up during a meeting and began speaking out of turn? Well, I can tell you, about 4 or 5 men are going to grab you. had been notified that there was a complaint made against them. And the finger was obviously pointing back at moi. And the very next Monday morning, the presiding overseer came to visit me at my place of work. And he was royally anytime and getting the ball rolling. Now, I don't know if the elders got a letter or a phone call, but they had... Watchtower Society did take my allegations seriously, and they did not waste any